So you know that we have to export and import from old Blackboard into new Blackboard, and I wanted to shoot a video showing you how to go about this process. So I'm in my old Blackboard class. This is the faculty tutorial site. And the first thing I need to do is see the size of my class. I need to find the size of my class. I can come into Packages and Utilities. This is under the Control Panel. And then I need to come to Export or Archive my course. Remember, our class size needs to be under 500 megabytes, preferably around 250 megabytes to allow some expansion room for students to submit work and also for it to run optimally. So to find out the size of my class, once I have hit the Export and Archive course, I need to click on the Export button. And this is where I would calculate the size of my class. This class is 570.3 megabytes, which means I need to do some cleanup on my class. How can I do cleanup on my class? I can come into areas and simply delete them. I can also go into my Tools Center and go to Test, Surveys, and Pools to see if I have any tests that I am not using in this class. I can see right now that there are several that are not deployed. If they are not deployed, chances are I am not using them. I can just come in and delete them. This is sometimes a tedious process if you have done many course copies and have multiples of all of your tests. However, it is in the best interest of both your class and your student experience to delete those extra things so that your class runs smoothly without any interruption. Once I have done tests, and let's assume that I have finished deleting all of those tests, I need to come back into Test Surveys and Pools and look at my Pools area. If you have pools that are from an old test bank from your publisher, you can delete them as well. Simply as simple as using this drop-down chevron to go to delete. We can then come in to assignments and group settings. If you are not using specific groups, you can delete them as well. And all of this helps to clean up your Blackboard site, which means that there is not as much data there, and it's therefore easier for you to export and import. So I've deleted some of these, and I'm going to show you the last place that you can delete files from to help make your class size smaller. If I come back down to the control panel, I can come into the Files section. The Files section contains all of the links and file formats of everything that you have added into your class shell. So when you copy and import information over, including all of the icons that are located in the student resource area. Anytime you have a duplicate of something, Like right here I have 3course-enter name and then 3course-enter name parentheses 1. This is a duplicate, and I can click on all of those duplicate items and then click delete. And then submit. There are often multiple pages in your course files. I have 19. So I could go through all of these pages and just click the duplicate files. Here are duplicate files. I've got these in here twice. And it is simply a matter of just looking through each page to make sure that you have deleted those extra files in order to clean up your shell. Now that I've cleaned this up a little bit, let's see what the file size is now. Come down to Control Panel to Export Archive Course. Export, Calculate Size. And see, I have now gone down almost a full megabyte just by doing some general housekeeping. When I have completed this process, and let's assume that I've gotten my class down to like 250 megabytes, all I need to do is click on the areas that I want to come over, and then any additional tools that I've used. So if I have announcements that I use every semester, I can click on announcements. If I have blogs, discussion boards, or wikis, I can select those. Rubrics can come over. I do want my grade center, and I do need my test surveys and pools. I can then click submit. And eventually, when this is done zipping up this package, you will receive an email and you will find it on this list. It goes in descending order. So your earliest to your newest. So I will have a new exported or zip file down below this when it's done. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and save this file from Blackboard onto your computer. I'm going to come in to this double chevron and click Open. I don't want to open it. I want to save it as a file. So always make sure that this little radio button is clicked. And then I'm going to say OK. Here is that zip file download. And while I am working on that, I can log into New Blackboard. Alright, so I've logged into New Blackboard, and remember this is the new login screen. Student tutorials can be found here. Instructor tutorials and help can be found here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And I would come into whatever class I'm working on, and then come down to the control panel under Packages and Utilities. Go ahead and click on that. We're going to import a package and then click on Import Package. From here, I would browse my computer to find that zip file. I know it's in my downloads. There is my zip file. And then click Open. I then scroll down to select the course materials. So I want my content areas to go in my content areas. And I remember that I have blogs, announcements, discussion boards, Grid Center, journals, rubrics, test surveys and pools, and wikis. There is nothing wrong to just selecting everything in case you're not certain of what you selected on the first end. Then I'm going to click Submit.